Good evening, dear friends. Hope you are doing well. In continuation of the previous videos, where we did 6 marks problems on leverages, today let us discuss about the 14 marks question where they ask you to calculate the earning per share under various given situations. Gurudatta Limited company has equity share capital of rupees 5 lakhs divided into shares of rupees 100 each. It wishes to raise further rupees 3 lakhs for modernization plans. Company plans the following financing schemes: all equity shares, second one rupees 1 lakh in equity shares and rupees 2 lakhs in debt at 10% per annum. As a third scheme, all required amount they would like to raise in the form of debts at 10% per annum. As a scheme of fourth plan, rupees 1 lakh in equity shares and rupees 2 lakh in preference share capital with rate of dividend at 8%. The company has estimated EBIT at rupees 1,50,000. The corporate rate of tax is 50%. Calculate earning per share in each case and give a comment as to which capital structure is suitable. If you analyze the problem clearly, company already has rupees 5 lakh capital, which is a composition of all equity shares of rupees 100 each. For further expansion, to further modernize the business, company wishes to raise 3 lakhs further capital. So along with 5 lakhs, company wants to raise 3 lakhs. To raise that 3 lakhs, company has 4 different plans. You need to suggest the company which plan is feasible based on earning per share. Based on earning per share, that is very important. Company as a first plan wants to raise entire 3 lakhs in the form of equity shares. As a second plan, company wants to raise 1 lakh in the form of equity shares and rupees 2 lakhs in the form of debts as a requirement of 3 lakhs. All debts, that means all 3 lakhs, company wants to raise in the form of debts at 10% per annum. That means where they are going to pay 10% interest per annum on those 3 lakhs. As a fourth plan, company wishes to raise 1 lakh in the form of equity shares and remaining 2 lakhs in the form of preference shares where the rate of dividend is fixed at 8% per annum. And one important information given in the question, that is EBIT rupees 1,50,000 and tax rate of 50%. Let us calculate the earning per share based on all given situations. First, let us take the first situation where company wishes to raise entire 3 lakhs in the form of equity shares. Return on investment. Return on investment is nothing but EBIT. As I explained in the previous videos, the base for calculation of leverages and calculation of earning per share is master table, where sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution minus fixed cost is equal to EBIT. When EBIT directly given in the question either as EBIT or as operating profit or as return on investment, directly we can start from EBIT. Here it is given as return on investment, so let us take return on investment 1,50,000. Next, EBIT. Out of EBIT, first we need to deduct interest. But if you observe here, in the first composition of a capital structure of the company, there was no debts. Interest will be paid only on debts if there is debts in the capital structure of the company. If you observe here, in the first part, that is the initial capital of the company, there were no debts. There were no debts. Even when it comes to first plan, that is plan A, all in the form of equity shares, so there is no debts. If there are no debts, no need to deduct the interest from that. So directly you can consider that return on investment as earning before tax, because there is no interest factor required here, because there is no debt in the initial capital of the company, also in the new plan of the company. So return on investment here is nothing but EBT. Otherwise, if the interest factor was there, this would have been EBIT. Next, less tax. If the tax rate is given in the question, then consider the same tax rate. If the tax rate is not given in the question, then consider 50%. Here it is given as 50%. So 50% of ROI, that is 75,000. 75,000. Then, if you observe here, after tax, we need to deduct. This is one very, very important one. We need to see, if you deduct tax from return on investment, you will get amount available to all equity shareholders. Amount available to all equity shareholders. But here in this case, there is no preference shares even in the initial capital structure of the company or in the new financial scheme. In both the places, hence there were no preference shares. We need not to deduct dividend on preference shares. So this amount is nothing but, whatever is available is nothing but amount available to equity shareholders. EPS, that is earning per share, the formula to calculate the earning per share is equal to amount available to equity shareholders divided by number of shares. Amount available to equity shareholders divided by number of shares. Here, amount available to equity shareholders, it is nothing but after deducting the tax and preference dividend, whatever is available. Here it is 75,000. But when it comes to number of shares, this is where you should be very careful while solving this particular problem. Number of shares is equal to total amount of shares divided by face value of shares. Total amount of shares. One thing is very, very important. The earning per shares are always calculated only on equity shares. While calculating the number of shares, you should consider only the equity shares. Only the equity shares. Here, in the initial capital structure of the company, the 5 lakh was there. The entire amount divided into shares of, equity share capital of rupees 100 each. So initially the equity share was rupees 5 lakhs, and the new modernization scheme, for new modernization of the company, it requires 10 lakhs as a part of new plan, new first plan. The entire amount company wishes to raise, here, in the form of all equity shares. In the form of all equity shares. That means here the equity share amounted to rupees 5 lakhs plus for new plan 3 lakhs, totally 8 lakhs. So each share valued face value means shares of rupees, how much each is given in the question? It is 100 each. So divided by 100, it comes to 8 lakh divided by 100, 8,000 shares. Now we have both the things to calculate EPS. Therefore, EPS is equal to amount available to equity shareholders or earning available to equity shareholders, that is 75,000, divided by face value, divided by number of equity shares 5 lakhs plus 3 lakhs divided by 100, it is 8,000 shares. So earning per share is equal to 9.36 per share. 9.36 per share. So this is for first plan. So when it comes to second plan, hope you understood the first plan. When it comes to second plan, initial 5 lakh was there, but entire in the form of equity shares. But as a part of second plan, the company wishes to raise 1 lakh in the form of equity shares and 2 lakh in the form of debt at 10% per annum. That is what we have written here. Rupees 1 lakh in the form of equity shares, rupees 2 lakhs in the form of debts at 10%. So now the total composition of the capital structure of the company initially plus the additional, the original equity shares 5 lakh was there. As per plan B, equity shares 1 lakh into 100 each. Sorry, 1000 shares of rupees 100 each. How did we get? Total 1 lakh is there. Each share valued rupees 100. So that means 1000 shares of rupees 100 each, 1 lakh. Remaining 10% debts. Debts are nothing but debentures, which are 2 lakhs amounted was there. See here, as per the information given in the question, 2 lakh in debts at 10% per annum. So rupees 2 lakh divided by 100. It is not required actually. Directly you can take 2 lakhs, total 8 lakhs. Total 8 lakhs. See, 5 lakhs plus new 3 lakhs, total 8 lakhs. So this is the composition of the company's capital. This is the composition of the company's capital. So based on that you can calculate. First, here return on investment is nothing but EBIT. Why? I explained in the previous plan where EBIT was EBT, where return on investment was EBT, because in the composition of the capital of the company there were no debts, but here there are some amount of debts. So that the return on investment will become EBIT. So earning before interest and tax. So this will remain constant whether the plans changes or not, doesn't matter. This EBIT remains same. So 1,50,000. Out of EBIT we are going to deduct I factor, that is interest factor, which is 10%. As I explained in the previous problem, in the previous video, the interests are always calculated on debts. Here, as per the new plan, the debts were rupees 2 lakh, where interest to be paid at 10% per annum. See here, it is given in here, debts at 10% per annum. Debts are 10% per annum. You can observe here, see, 2 lakhs in debt at 10% per annum. So debts are 10% per annum. 2 lakhs, if you calculate 10% on it, it comes to 20,000. So EBIT minus interest, that is EBT 1,30,000. EBT 1,30,000 less tax, 50% of EBT. So if you calculate 50% on 1,30,000, that is EBT, you will get 65,000, that is earnings available to shareholders. Again I am explaining, unless there is a preference shares in the composition of the capital of the company. If you observe here, equity shares and debentures are there. There were no preference shares. If there is no preference shares, then after deducting the tax, whatever the amount available will become amount available to equity shareholders. This is one. So if you calculate this, things will be very easy for you. Then again EPS is equal to amount available to all shareholders divided by number of equity shares. So here amount available is 65,000 divided by number of equity shares. Here see, originally there were 5,000 shares, that is 5 lakhs divided by 100. As per the new plan, 1 lakh divided by 100, 1,000 shares are there. Totally 6,000 shares are there. So 65 divided by 6,000, it comes to 10.83. So this taken care of the second plan. Let us go for the third one. What is the third plan here? The third plan is all debts. All debt means all required amount of 3 lakhs raised through debts. So now the composition of the capital or capital structure will become, see, originally there were 5,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, that is 5 lakhs divided by 100 is nothing but 5,000. Now additionally entire amount required 3 lakhs is raised in the form of debts only, so that there is no equity, further capital is there, so total capital is 8 lakhs. Now EBIT, now hence the debts are there, let us start with EBIT. If the debts are not there, we'll start with EBT. So EBIT 1,50,000, debt, sorry, less interest. Interests are always paid on debts. The debts are how much here? 3 lakhs. If you calculate 10% on 3 lakhs, it comes to 30,000, which is considered as EBT 1,20,000. Tax always calculated. See, EBT, T means tax, less tax. Less tax. Tax always calculated on EBT. So 50% of EBT, which comes to EAT, that is earning after tax. As I explained, in the composition or capital structure of the company, if there were no preference shares, then EAT will become amount available to equity shareholders. Equity shareholders. So now amount available to equity shareholders amounted to rupees 60,000. Amounted to rupees 60,000. So EPS is equal to amount available to or earnings available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. If you observe now, the number of equity shares are only 5,000, that is in the original equity share capital. There were no additional equity share capitals issued, so that 60,000 divided by 5,000, it is rupees 12 per share. In the last one, see, if you observe here, 1 lakh in equity shares and 2 lakhs in preference share capital, where rate of dividend is 8%. First, let us discuss about the capital structure or the composition of the capital. First one, originally the equity share capitals were 5 lakhs divided by rupees 100, there were 5,000 shares. When comes to additionally, see, additional as an addition to original, rupees 1 lakh in equity shares, that is 1 lakh divided by 100, so 1,000. See, 1,000 shares of rupees 100 is 1 lakh. Remaining 2 lakhs, they are raised in the form of preference share, where rate of dividend is 8%. Here, please observe here carefully. When there are debts, that percentage becomes rate of interest. When there are preference shares, the percentage will become rate of dividend. That is the difference. Understood? So now see, total 8 lakhs. Earning per share, as I explained previously, return on investment, when the debt is there in the composition of the company, will be EBIT. When the debt is not there in the composition of the company, the rate of interest is nothing but EBT, earning before tax. So now you can start with EBT because there were no debts. So EBT 1,50,000 less tax, that is 50% of EBT 75,000, earning after tax 75,000. Now because there is a preference share capital in the capital structure of the company, this will not be considered as amount or earnings available to equity shareholder. Because of preference shares, we need to deduct preference dividend. Preference dividend is how much? The rate of dividend is 8%, which is to be paid on 2 lakhs, so which comes to 16,000. So earnings available to equity shareholders 59,000. Now EPS is equal to earnings available to equity shareholders divided by number of shareholders. See, 59,000 divided by number of shareholders. So in the composition, originally 5,000, additionally 1,000, total 6,000, 9.83 per share. Now the very important thing is we need to comment on this. How we can comment? In the first financial plan, if you observe, in the first financial plan, EPS was 9.36. In the second one, 10.83. In the third one, if you observe here, 12. And in the fourth one, 9.83. Which one is having a highest EPS? That is plan C. See, here plan C is preferred. Why? Because it is having highest EPS compared to plan A, B and D. Okay, so the best plan is better to go for entire amount required to rise in the form of debts. So this is how you need to write a comment. Understood? So this will fetch you 14 marks. Hope you understood this particular problem. Thank you.